Tell us, what does Robbie Keane mean to Irish fans?
I think that the hardcore of the Irish support recognise that Robbie is a total legend at this stage. He's one of the greatest players ever to play for us. Up there with the likes of Liam Brady, Johnny Giles, Roy Keane, Paul McGrath. He deserves to be mentioned in that company. I think any criticism he's taken over the years has been from people who don't really know what they're on about. I mean, I've heard criticism that he only sort of scores against minnows and that, but if you look at his record, he scored big goals for Ireland against Holland, against France, against Germany, against Spain, against Italy, against all the major nations we've had to play in competitive games. He's generally scored against. And even when it comes to scoring against the lower nations, some of those goals have been absolutely vital. So in the 2010 World Cup campaign, for example, he kept us in that campaign with winners against Georgia, late winners away to Cyprus, at home against Cyprus in a tight game. In Euro 2012 it was the same, 2 goals away to Macedonia when he racked his 50th up. So, you know, the criticism he's had over the years just doesn't really stand up. For me, he's obviously been the best striker we've ever had and one of the greatest players we've ever had.
I think Robbie Keane to Irish fans is that he's been an ever-present. Like, you know, the amount of caps he's had over the last 18 years or so, be a friendly, be a competitive game, he's always there, he always shows up, regardless of his club. So I think he was someone we could depend on.
One of the very special Irish players. I don't think we'll ever see the likes of him again.
No, I don't believe so. Like, I think his record speaks for itself. Like, the fact that he beat the record beforehand, I think he more or less tripled it, like Niall Quinn's record. I don't think that'll ever be beaten. And obviously with the appearances as well, you know.
I suppose we'll only really know the true value of Robbie when he's actually gone. Probably the greatest striker of his generation. The best striker I've seen in my time as an Irish supporter. So in the next few years, we'll definitely really see what the value he meant to the team when we looking for a replacement. You know, all those goals, taking them for granted, I suppose. You know.
Best Robbie Keane moment?
Again, there's so many to pick from, but one I had, I suppose, sticks out in my mind was the away game against Italy in qualifying for the 2010 World Cup. Very important game in Barry, and I think with Robbie Keane, people always said he couldn't score against the bigger countries, but I think on that day he showed away in Italy he was still able to get the goals. That's one that sticks out for me.
The favourite Robbie Keane moment that I've seen with my own eyes was the equaliser against Germany in Ibriaki in World Cup 2002. We were behind the goal when that went in, and at that stage, having had a draw with Cameroon and being 1 down to Germany in a game that we pretty much dominated when Oliver Kahn had just been absolutely immense. When I was getting into stoppage time, myself, my friend, was sitting there with our heads in our hands, just thinking, "This is it. We're gone. We're 1 point going into our final game if we don't do it." And Finnan got that ball, launched it in. Quinn gets the flick on, and we literally let out of the seats, just "Go on, Robbie! Go on, Robbie!" And then bang, absolute pandemonium when the ball hit the back of the net. It was the greatest moment I've ever experienced at a sporting fixture. Ever. The only thing that's ever come close was probably Stephen Cluxton getting the winning point for Dublin in the All-Ireland in 2011. But even then, I still think Ibriaki is probably the greatest. It's one of the greatest moments of Irish sport, let alone Irish football.
I suppose everyone talks about the Germany game in 2002 when he got the equaliser, but I was actually doing English paper 2 in the Leaving Cert, so I didn't get to see it live. So I suppose for me would be the goal that put us ahead against France in Paris. It was just magic because we had so much pressure on them, and just to finish the goal like he did from Duffer, magic moment.
And if you were to have a message for Robbie Keane after all those games, after all those goals, after a legendary status with Ireland, what would be your message to Robbie Keane?
Just thanks for everything. Since his debut against the Czech Republic, you know, he's never been found wanting for Ireland, never refused to come, even when he went to the States with LA Galaxy. So thanks for everything, Robbie.
Robbie, just thanks a million for all the memories. It's been an unbelievable couple of years. Enjoy your retirement, and we'll never forget you.
Thanks for the memories, Robbie. It's been unbelievable watching him play. I've seen him score his first goals for Ireland. I hope that I'll see him score his last goal tonight. I'd love to see him level with Gert Muller, and he's just been an absolute legend. We're not going to see his like again.